So, okay, so today is April 20th. I think we're both feeling the energies and
Oh, for
yeah.
definitely feeling the energies, yes. In fact, I got today that it would be a very good idea for people to go out and walk in the sun between the hours of 2 and 4, specifically between the hours of 2 and 4, because 2 is a multiple of 4, and 4 is stability in numerology.
So we should stop this recording and we should be going outside.
Well, we're not going to be recording for 2 hours, I hope.
No, but I think it's what I wanted to share with you. And you're my walking spiritual Google. So I think we got a good connection here is and I see a lot of interference as well today. It's a lot of good energy, but there's also like I feel a lot of disturbances too in the field. So it'll be nice for us to do like a grounding meditation after.
Definitely.
Yeah, I need it. Um, but so see, I got me my rose quartz crystal, and that's really like something I wanted to share with you as well, and then you could give your take on it. It's, when I did my body scan meditation this morning,
Hmm.
which I usually do in the morning, sometimes I forget, but today I felt called to sit on my red armchair, and I
Yeah.
did that body scan, and I saw in my vision, really interesting, a a polygon of many sides, many facets. Not sure if it's 10 or 12, but the number 10 seems to be coming strong. And within there were like these lines on the sides, and it was distinctively pink. Yeah. So I felt this beautiful pink aura, and so I drew it out, and I drew it out in my diary again. It really helps to sort of like to see it clearer, when you draw it. And so I drew it. I'm not sure if you can see it with this no, not really. It's okay. I drew this image, and as I drew it, it it spun around the angles, and out popped what really looked like the Tau symbol, of that polygon with the lines. And it was amazing because this, and with that sign of femininity, which I have felt, um, and the Tao, the way of the universe, and Tao symbols made me remember, all of a sudden the dreams that I had the past few weeks ago. Or was it a dream? No, it was not really a dream, but it's one of these awake meditations where I saw again in my vision these symbols of Chinese calligraphy. And I showed that to my aunt, and I think I did post it on Facebook too. And I just wrote it out. I didn't know what it meant, but I just wrote out what looked like Chinese calligraphy. So very, very interesting, like, strong energy from the sun, the shape of the square, and the solar energy coming strong. And this past few months, even with the 333 and with March portal as well, is I start seeing the sun as being contained in a square. So that
Hmm.
four-sided cubic shape was really dominant, was really resonating. And the sun being in a square, that was really interesting. But I kept seeing that. So, and it was strange, but it felt right. I saw the sun for the first time in a different way. It was not like our usual sun, it was like a different sun. So today also happens to be the solar eclipse. So maybe there's a lot of people who say about, it's a really a different type of solar energy that's coming through, that's bigger. It's coming from other, planetary systems, etc. But I don't know about all those, but I do feel that it's special, it's different because of all the signs. And yeah, it'll be really cool to have your take about, what I'm I'm feeling into. So I'm glad to have your feeling.
Well,
Hmm.
I'm honored to be here and to give my take on things. Yes, the eclipse today, the portal today of April 20th, 2023 is a very special energy. It is a very special portal. And in fact, we as co-creators of the divine designed it to be this way. We designed it with astrological factors involved, with factors with regarding numerology. We put that in there. We also put in there the divine 7 rays, because today is Thursday, and Thursday is the divine ray of resurrection. And that is all what this is leading up to. That is what this portal is leading up to. I thought it very interesting that you were saying that you felt the 10 come in very strongly in your shape. And I've been often told by the divine that 10-10, perhaps you even see 10-10 on the clock sometimes, or it means the resurrection, 10-10. So the fact that you said that you saw that within your polygon, I think is means something significant. With regards to the pink is all about divine love and divine forgiveness of self. And with regards to synchronicity, I happened to see a friend post about pink Himalayan salt today, and so I think that speaks to us that we need to be paying attention to the color pink, and to divine love, self-forgiveness, self-acceptance. The energies of this particular eclipse have to do very strongly with self-acceptance and accepting that we are the divine, accepting that we are God itself. And the divine is asking us to realize this and to put all of our misconceptions of self aside, and to bask in the glory of the rays of the sun. And the fact that you are talking about seeing a sun in a square has to do with many different things. One of the things that we need to consider is that a square has 4 sides, and each side of a square is equal, which is a sign, which means stability. And the sun inside there, the sun inside the square, is reminding us of who we are. And that once we recognize who we are, then we will have stability, we will have peace, we will have balance in the earth, on the earth, and in the universe as a whole. With regards to the Tao that you wrote, that you said that you saw, and the Chinese letters, the Chinese characters, Tao, if whoever is not aware of it, Tao means source, the energy of source. And I myself had a dream as well, with regards to seeing a slideshow. I was being shown a slideshow by Spirit, and in that slideshow, I saw Chinese characters. I saw the words Tai Chi written on the slides with a panda bear. and it felt it felt really, you could really feel the Chinese in there. And one of the ascended masters that I work very strongly with is Lord Lanto. And Lord Lanto is the ascended master of divine illumination, of wisdom.
Mm. I remember the day you sent me that text saying, "You've got something to do with this dream that I had."
Yes, and I wasn't wrong, because later on I was led to, I didn't know what it meant 100% at the time when I had the dream, but then I was led to something very interesting. I was led to Tao calligraphy, which is the writing of source.
Mm.
It is it is referred to as how source expresses itself in writing. And I was led to this via a book by Dr. Shaw, who also speaks very strongly about soul song and soul language and how we can develop that.
Mm-hmm.
And about, I think it was last year, I was also led to examine the Song dynasty of the Chinese history, because the Song dynasty is a dynasty where there was a renaissance, where there was a rebuilding of the earth, a rebuilding of the way things were, you know.
Mm.
It was an era where a lot of new technologies were coming forth,
Interesting.
and this is the era now that this is repeating itself, this era. And the fact now that I see the correlation, I hadn't noticed this before, but I just figured it out now, that it the Song dynasty, and then the soul song, and then the soul calligraphy, and then the Tao calligraphy, it all fits,
Coincides.
it all coincides and
Mm-hmm.
fits together. So we are being told to both develop our soul song, our soul language, by daily singing, and just go with the flow and allow what comes to come.
Yeah,
Best to do it
true.
best to do it in the sun. It's really good to do it in the sun.
Mm. Yeah. I love that. Just picking up on the calligraphy aspect.
Mhm.
I'm really working on removing my blocks on abundance
Yeah,
and
I
the whole overall worthiness, the topic of I'm worthy, and seeing abundance and money and affluence more as an energy. And I was drawing earlier in the year. I mean, I use a lot of, like, that's where I think we met. It's the art, right? And
yes.
I just instinctively started drawing the fish because I saw a fish in my dream, and it was this beautiful carp with golden scales, gold
Mhm.
and green. And the first word, after I drew the fish, I felt it was appropriate to then draw in calligraphy. 鱼 is in Chinese, it means fish. And you see the calligraphy, the Chinese calligraphy felt right. It, like, it went with the energy
Ah,
of the fish and the abundance, because 鱼 means like abundance in Chinese. And yeah, that I I didn't I didn't have the vocabulary to then put one to one together to say that, hey, there is also the frequency within the calligraphy itself, but it's like the Vedic, like the yantras as well, like the Hindu
mhm.
yantras, and how there is also this ancient wisdom within the yantra, like the Kubera mantra, which is all about affluence as well, and numbers, and within a square, and this everything adds up to 72. So what you're saying, and very quickly we met, um, and we put one on one together, is there's a lot of uh, deeper meaning cosmic meaning behind the numbers, and behind the symbols and drawings
Mhm.
and calligraphy to anchor in the energy.
Mhm.
So my my understanding from all this, it almost feels like a lot of information or download through the dreams and everything, but quickly making sense of them and also with, our discussions is that um the past is not our way forward. In a way, like we cannot manifest things for the future based on what we have experienced in the past. Because, say, for example, if you have never felt true love before, if you
Mhm.
never felt love as a child, if you never felt like your parents loved you, uh, it's really hard for you to say, okay, I want true love because you've never felt it.
Mhm.
Never felt it. So then whatever you want in your field, you're still looking from an outside because you never felt it inside. But that's where I start to see now is that whatever we want to manifest in our lives, whether it's love or it's money, it's all good, is
Mhm.
that to not use the basis of our past experience, whether how our parents treated us or how society or our culture, but to now with this solar eclipse or now with this new timeline is that what path do you choose? And then to dare to dream big, to
Yeah.
really step into your true potential and your true self,
Mhm.
and to anchor it in the body by feeling it,
Mhm.
and not to limit yourself based on what you had before. So if you were like handed out scraps as a kid, you think that you're only this worthy of scraps and not a 10-course meal. You know what
Mhm.
I mean? So it's
Yeah. No,
yeah, so it's a
100%.
bit like that, it's like
Mhm.
you feel it. So these yantras or symbols or the art of calligraphy or singing or all these so-called spiritual tools like meditation, etc., is a way in which you can feel into a sensation that you've never felt before and you can step into a bigger version of
Mhm.
yourself. I think that's
Yes.
really
Yes, but we have to see also that the Tao calligraphy comes from the past. So
true.
while we should not focus on the past and only on the present, we do need to embody the wisdom of our ancestors and bring it
Hmm.
into the present. So
Yep.
in that sense, uh, the past is valuable.
The wisdom of the past, but what I meant from the past, for what I said was our own karmic pasts of our
Yes,
own
yes.
lives. That's what I meant. But yeah, what we're seeing here is that there's a lot of wisdom from the ancient civilizations and these codes almost left behind by sort of like the enlightened ones precedent to us are still very much accessible in the here and
Mhm.
now. And this is where like it's a little bit might feel a little bit esoteric for many, but I feel like the wisdom of the past lineage of the ancient masters are very much accessible in the grid if you are open to receive it. So I don't, I can theoretically or almost like I truly believe that death or the physical decay, the death is not a true separation. If we really want to tap into, say, the energy of Jesus, or for me, I'm very connected with Lord Ganesha, with Lord Shiva,
Mhm.
and that is, although you don't see them, or Lord Buddha, you don't see them, but their presence and their wisdom is very much alive in the here and now. And there is a way in which they communicate with you in a very subtle soul level, um, that is very accessible. I mean, I think that the high frequency beings always have the intention for us to expand, but there's also very much this free will. It's that, do you want to tap into it? Are you
Yeah.
ready for it? Do you want this? And no one can force you, if you choose if you want to stay where you are, that's where you will stay. If you want to choose drama, you will always be mired in drama. If you want to break free and choose to have a free life and abundance, you are free to choose it and
Yeah.
just take the first step and you will be supported, by the
Yeah.
universe. It's
Well,
sort of,
when you are ready, the ascended masters will come that you need at that moment.
yeah,
And interesting that you chose the words break free, because I have gotten the song I Want to Break Free by Queen in my head very often. And yesterday I heard my son, he was playing that on the clarinet too. And then I tuned in, it was like, yeah, that's it. And I've heard it like about 2 or 3 times this week. And it's also interesting that queen, the name, a crown, the divinity, femininity, the divine feminine, and the crown, crowning yourself with the divine feminine and the divine masculine. And because if you think about it, also it's interesting because Freddie Mercury uh was male, but he really felt very strongly, like the strong connection to the divine feminine,
yeah,
right? Because
right.
of his sexual orientation.
Yes, yes.
So you take that into account, it's all about merging the divine feminine with the divine masculine and really feeling it and owning
Hmm.
it and saying, yes, I accept it.
Right. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. I mean, a lot of my good friend Sylvie, we have I had dreams about the flamingo.
Oh
So
yeah.
did my friend Sylvie, we connected, and that I realized is this the pink, the power of the feminine. And that's coming up very strong, is that it's such a strong force, but it has been so much obliterated in the past because of so much
Mhm.
fear by
Yeah.
the low frequency energies of the power of creation and birth, that the feminine voice and the feminine power has been shadowed. And it
Yeah.
led to a darker form of feminine, like jealousy and um rivalry and being bitchy and that
Mhm.
competition. um and so I see that there's more freeing now, there's more openness and also freedom,
Yeah.
and also a relaxing and easing and taking your space, which is very much the power of the feminine too. So I
the word
really
that
welcome that. Yeah.
the word that I'm hearing is grace.
True,
And
true. Grace.
I've always felt that in association with the color pink. Very often take a color bath because I know I recognize the power of the colors. We are essentially all color, as evidenced by our auras, and so I often take a color bath. I sit there in meditation and I allow the colors one by one to wash over me, and it really rejuvenates me and makes me feel very good. And when I get to the color pink, I have always felt a lot of grace associated with that. And I have also heard in the middle of the night spirit saying, think pink. And I start singing in my sleep, think pink, think pink, think pink. And and flamingos are pink. And when you mentioned the flamingos, it resonated with me because I've also see flamingos from time to time. And flamingos are very graceful birds. So that fits in very well with the grace, how their head is very nice and curvy. It goes with the flow, and they're able to stand on one leg and still hold their own.
Yes. Very good sense of balance, and they're very rooted.
Yes, exactly. Very good sense
Yeah.
of balance. Exactly.
I see the flamingo as a sign as well of my ability to progress and be a little bit personal here, but to get beyond my fear of men, because as a child I was molested once. It wasn't severe, but I can tell you that it left a huge scar in my system. So I've always been afraid of men, and that's why I also embody the masculine energy very much as a form of armor.
Mm,
Mhm.
I
Yeah.
totally resonate with you because I I totally
Hmm.
resonate. I have
Yeah.
similar feelings.
Yes.
So
So
yeah,
yeah, that and also I have a good friend. Her name is Grace, and she helped me a lot as well in relieving my traumas with the sexual assault
yeah.
and the anger associated with. Like there was one very transformative conversation we had, and that really helped me. And ever since it's about a year ago, but I've always had this recurring dream of being pursued by shadowy men in the darkness. And it doesn't matter if they are small statued. I will still be crippled with fear, and in their presence, I will not be able to shout or make any sound, and I will be immobilized, paralyzed by fear. It's always been a recurring theme because that actually happened when I was a kid. I was paralyzed with fear and I
Mhm.
couldn't speak, so my throat chakra was completely blocked. But I did manage to say no, put a firm foot down, and I managed to escape. But still, it left a really brutal scar. But I knew that my healing was getting better because in my dreams I was able to scream and shout. So I literally
Yeah.
scream really loud, and my poor husband had a huge thrashing because I really went.
Ah!
So that was
But then you met Grace, and Grace came to you,
no, Grace helped
Grace
me
helped you. Grace
a
helped
year
you.
ago.
And
Yeah,
then
we
the
were doing.
flamingos came and they helped you too. And not only are
Yes.
the flamingos associated with the divine feminine, but they are
Mhm.
also associated with the divine masculine. Because if you think of their name, flamingos, you hear fire,
Yeah, true.
flam.
And they have a very strong beak
Also, yeah.
to protect. So yeah, it's a good omen. Um, I'm able to better empathize now with, all the people who have undergone sexual assaults as well, like the shame. And what is really huge was this asshole literally said, "You will not tell this to anyone." Okay?
I had the same experience
Oh wow. Oh
actually.
my gosh. So, I forgot that until in a dream I remembered. He said, "Do not speak of this to anyone." That's when I came out of the closet in 2020 and I started writing openly about sexual assault on LinkedIn. And there was so much fear that night. I in my dream, no, I was like sweating buckets because I was speaking out loud, right? So I felt shameful, I felt dirty, I felt like some huge repercussion. The next day I was like, oh, I should delete that post on LinkedIn and stuff. But then the next day there were like thousands, I mean, there was a lot of reactions on it. And so I feel like one really positive thing is that, for those who have been assaulted, it's to never keep it in the closet. It's to come out. And the more you're able to talk about it, that there's nothing shameful at all. It's, haha, I have this card.
Power.
The power of God is within me. The grace of God surrounds me.
Okay,
I
that's
don't
what
know.
I thought it was Grace, but I wasn't sure. See, you intuitively tuned into the fact already back then that pink was associated with Grace.
Yes, yes. So, yes, I love this quote. It is by my Bhagavan Ramana Maharshi. Yes,
Mhm.
Shiva, the Shiva connection. I want to be, I want to visit his ashram in India. That's my intention.
I would love to go to India one of these days. About the fact that we're going to be receiving five times the dose of stability today because today being the 20th of April is 5 times 4, and 5 is change in numerology, and 4 is stability. So we take the energy of change 5 times and we multiply it by 4, and we get a heavy dose of stability.
I think that's to stay, it's the new ground in which
Yes, but we're
we're anchoring into.
anchoring it in today. Today is when we anchor it in.
Yes.
And tomorrow, okay, be prepared, guys. Tomorrow is going to be when we all start to integrate the energies of today, which is why today is a day 4, right? Stability. And tomorrow, being a day 5, will be change. So first we have to anchor in that stability, which is what we're doing now today. And tomorrow we will be living it, or trying to live it. And tomorrow there will be things, or I wouldn't, that will be coming up that we need to just detach ourselves from, because there will be some old feelings that will be coming up tomorrow. And it is a type of initiation to see how well we can detach from these things. It's like a gift from the universe to see how well we can detach from these things. And they're giving us such a heavy dose of energy so that it will be easier for us to be able to detach from the things we need to detach from. So tomorrow it's going to be good to do a lot of introspection. Make sure you drink a lot of water, and go out and get be in nature, and if you can, and allow the Mother Earth to be with you and to support you through these changes. And she will do so in many different ways, like one of the ways she might help is you will feel the nature spirits around you. You may feel them, you may see them, you may hear them, or you may just feel happy and know that they're around, helping you, the nature spirits. Or you may see an image in a cloud, and this is another way of her communicating too, which is why I
Exactly.
think doing these videos is a great.
Happiness, everything that is wealth or abundance, it starts from anchoring in and having that feeling inside. And bliss and paradise and everything that you always wanted is never outside. And one day I was just walking outside, with I was walking with my dog, with Muffin, and I was just looking at the clouds because you said the clouds. And I was looking at the clouds, and the way it was formed, it was huge, and it looked like eagles, or it looks like dolphins or angels even. And that moment, you just feel extremely spacious because the inside is feeling spacious and free. And it's true to the word of what Buddha says. Happiness is when you are free from attachments.
Mm-hmm.
And suffering is purely the moment your mind is stuck or attached or chasing or pursuing something and it doesn't get it. It is suffering. And the moment when you feel free from these attachments, hooks and desires and pursuits, you feel so free. And that freedom is extremely powerfully, deliciously juicy.
You just said the
It's just hard to describe it, but it's indelectable. It's just, yeah.
when you said desire, you said the magic word for me, because you were talking and I'm saying to myself, please say desire. I want you to say desire. and And then you said desire. Because one of the ascended masters that I follow, that has come to me often, is Mahavatar Babaji. He is an ascended master from the Himalayas, who embodies both the masculine and the feminine, because he looks like both. He can take on either the masculine or he can take on either the feminine. So there's a blending there. And he has said that he still lives there within the inner earth, even but with a less dense physical body. Like, he's still in the physical, but within the inner earth network. And he says that in order to be happy, what we need to do is let go of desire, be desireless. He says, be desireless. And one of the things that I was often shown was and heard in meditations and seen in visions, is the prayer called the Lord is my shepherd. The Lord is my shepherd, I shall not want. And at first, I had always thought, like growing up, that I shall not want means it's like possessions. But
Mm.
it's not about that. It's about knowing that we have everything that we need at our fingertips. That's what it's all about.
Mm. It's very multidimensional, you know. It's like I feel that the understanding and the shapes and colors and the spirit is it's becoming tangible. You know, before it was like
Yeah,
really
yeah, yeah,
you know, but it's like the
yeah. Tangible
more
is the correct word, because I last year I kept hearing the word tangible. I was channeling Serapis Bey, who is the ascended master of the ascension. He's the one who is the foreseer of the ascension process. I always kept hearing the word tangible. The light is here. He says, the light is here. It is tangible.
I become the sun, I place the sun in me, oh, Bhavatu. Ahoriana Timanaya Kuarina Taya Karameya Nama Bhavatu. Urimiya Ayanara Koroshiya Amineya Akaya Bhavatu. Uyani Mayani Kwamayati Ayana Tayara Bhavatu. Oyani Mikaya Natia Mea Hoya Amineya Hakoya Babatu. Harinaya Haruna Miteya Haruna Babatu. Nu aya nu aya ru aya nu maya haya babatu. Oh hiya no vaya nu harami harakiya na maya babatu. Uriana kaya manikia ranuya harimeya no koya babatu. Babatu. Can you hear the drum of your heartbeat? Hear it beat for the world. Babatu. Babatu. Arimea karianaya. Aramia taranima. Babatu. Uhiano viaranikaya notia. Ayano miea babatu. Iana mikireia nakura mitea. Aroya, I'm on your knees, praise Babatu, Babatu. Uhiya roya mitea korana tiea karana Babatu. Uhirinea aminea arukia anuia mara Babatu. Babatu.
If you like this video, leave a like and subscribe. Thank you. Subscribe right now.